Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy to be back with another video on the Alex Syberia Designs YouTube channel. Today I am making a clean and simple card using the Garden Tweets die set, which is a new product from the latest release. I'm also using a new cover die and some sentiments as well. For this one, I'm using the Garden Tweets die set like I mentioned, and you can see that you can make a lot of things with this. There's a bird, there are 3 flowers you can make, there are 2 leaves included, and there is also a smile sentiment as well. I'm just using 2 of the flowers here, and there are a couple of layers to these flowers. I cut them out of 3 shades of orange cardstock. There are 2 heart-shaped ones that go in the back. Then there's a flat one that goes in the front. And on top of that, you can add an additional petal as well. I chose to cut those last 2 out of the same shade of cardstock. The stems, and there are a few little tiny leaves that you can add to the base of the flower. They both come separate, so you don't have to add the tiny leaves, but I think they're a nice addition to those flowers. I just add little dabs of glue to the back of the flower and adhere them there. I chose to cut navy blue cardstock for the stems to set them apart a little bit from the leaves and just for a little bit of a different look as well. I cut the large leaves out of varying shades of green cardstock, and once I had everything cut and assembled, I was just playing around with this to find an arrangement that I liked. And once I liked it, I cut a piece of press and seal a little bit larger than my card base, and I just picked up all of those flowers, and that's going to keep them in place so I can add them to my card very quickly later on. Now I want to make this background very simple, so I die cut the Meadow Magic from white cardstock. You can probably not see this very well on camera, but this is a die cut piece of cardstock. It just leaves a piercing detail. And I used my grid mat to make sure I had a nice margin all the way around with masking tape. So this is going to create a 1-layer frame to my card, and I'm just going to ink blend in the center of this. I'm using some teals here. This is Aqua Sky from Conquer the 9th. All the inks I'm using today are from Conquer the 9th, and they blend wonderfully. I'm just checking if I like my arrangement a little bit late in the game, if I like the arrangement on such a small frame, but I did, so I just continued on. I'm going to darken up the ink blending on the bottom of the panel just to create a little bit of a variation in color, and I'm not even too careful with ink blending here. I'm just making sure that there's some color on the page. Once I'm happy with the color I've got, I am going to take away the masking tape very carefully. Because this is a die cut panel, it's a little bit more delicate than usual. So even before you adhere the masking tape on your project, you might want to put it on your clothes first to take away some of the stick, because a pierced panel is always just a little bit more delicate than just a plain sheet of cardstock. So once that is adhered on my card base, I can adhere my flower arrangement, and I'm going to play with dimension a little bit here. I am putting some foam tape just behind the flowers, and everything else I'm going to adhere flat on my card. So I'm just going to use glue for those. You can see one flower is covering one of the leaves, so it's going to be adhered mostly behind that leaf. So I'm going to make sure that there is glue behind that leaf as well, so it's not going to flop around on my card. I'm adding a sentiment. This is the Hugs die from the Love and Hugs die set. There is a coordinating hot foil plate as well, and the die set includes a shadow layer too. And usually I always use that, but I figured just the scripty layer would be really nice and dainty on this simple card, and I wouldn't have to add more layers with the shadow die as well. I am adding a sub-sentiment that I just found in my little bowl of pre-stamped sub-sentiments that I thought would fit. It says "Love from me to you," and I think it's from the Giraffic Friends stamp set from Alex Syberia Designs. I'm not entirely sure, but I have just a bunch of sentiment strips prepped and ready to go. I'm adding some foam tape to a couple of places. I'm checking if that is not covering the sentiment, just to make it level with the Hugs die there, because that is stacked up a couple of layers as well. To finish this off, I'm going to add some pearls. I think these are black pearls. Oh no, I just remembered. They're ombre glitter drops from Pinkfresh Studio, and they're really, really nice. There's some green in there and some black. It's just a really nice combo for any kind of bouquet that contains some greenery, I think. So there it is. Quite a simple card for me because you don't have too much dimension going on, just some die cuts on top of a flat panel. But because you masked off those edges, there's a fun little frame on your card as well. I hope you like it. I hope you like the card and the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and my channel as well. It should be linked on the video right now, so you can see more of my cards and more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.